So I'm so excited to have this training with you today. Y'all excited about this one? Who's excited for a new year, y'all? Like, I'm ready. I'm way ready. I'm way ready just to get to it. 2020 has been quite the year. It's been something for a lot of us. We've all been impacted at certain levels in certain ways. But I think always this time of year, I always get really excited and just anticipatory for what the new year is going to bring and what the Lord's going to do in the new year. And so this year is very much the same, but I think this year is amplified a bit just because 2020 has been just kind of one of those years. So I'm not necessarily just ready to just stick 2020 in the bag, but I am super just excited for what's going to happen in that next new year. So hopefully you guys have had a chance to download this guide. This is going to help you significantly. If you have not gotten this yet, I did put a link in the chat to get this. If you go to bit.ly/2021, one word, that'll take you directly to the Dropbox video. That's also in the link to the email when you registered for this. It should also get you there as well. But this is a PDF guide, and this is going to walk you kind of through the process that we're going to talk through today, and it's just going to make note-taking a little easier. Do you need the guide to do what we're going to do today? No. If you can just take your own notes, and that's totally cool. But what I've kind of heard from people as I've done this training in the past is that we go through a lot, and it's just a lot of writing. So I've put some of the writing in this for you just to speed up the process for you a little bit. Also, one of the things that I did this year that I've never done before in this guide is I put together a list of words of 108 words that would be fantastic ideas for words of the year. Because some people struggle with creativity. So I put that list in there as well. Hopefully you got that. Maddie, good morning to you. It's nice to see you this morning. Keith, good morning to you, brother. Thanks for coming in. So hopefully you guys can grab that guide, and that's going to kind of help you through the process, and we are just going to dive into it this morning. So before I get to it, let me get all my people. I got all these people I got to watch in the waiting room that are coming in. Before we just get into this process this morning, y'all, let me just ask a show of hands first of all. Good morning, Joanne. Dia, thanks for coming in. It's nice to see all your smiling faces. Tammy, good morning to you and your blue hair. It's nice to see you as well. Good morning to all of you. I love seeing all your faces. It's fun to hang out with you this morning. Jackie, great morning to you as well. So again, I'm just a quick reminder for all you guys that are popping in. Hopefully you had a chance to download this guide that I made available to you, a PDF guide. If you haven't gotten it, look in the chat stream of the video. The very first thing in the chat, list that. Go to bit.ly/2021, one word. That'll take you to this guide. You can download it. Do you have to have this guide to do this process? No, but it will make it easier on you. I promise. Tasha, great morning to you. Thanks for coming in, girl. Appreciate you. Maggie Kavanaugh, great morning to you as well. So we are recording because people will ask me that. We are recording, so this will be available via recording afterwards, so you can go back to it as well. Also, just a couple of quick FYIs. Please keep yourself muted. I automatically mute you when you come into the room. So please keep yourself muted. I like to keep everybody's background noise as silent as possible. But I love interaction and I love questions. Y'all know that about me. So if you've got questions, if you want to chime something in, just throw your hand up so I can see you. And I'm happy to give you the mic and let you say what you want to say. So I love the interaction. This is not a lecture. This is a conversation. And I want to have conversation with you guys. I want to do this together. One of the reasons, this is the first time I've ever done this training in a Zoom setting. I've always just done it as a live, and I only do it once a year. So every year, usually it's just me on live and you interact with me live. But I really was excited about doing this in this type of setting because I just think it's a really, really powerful process. And I kind of want to see y'all go through it. I kind of want to experience it with you. So it should be super fun. I'm excited about it. I am also watching the chat stream. So those guys that are, thank you, Kim, for putting that link in there, that making it clickable. I appreciate that. Those guys that are, if you have something to chime in or if you want to interact with each other as we go throughout this, feel free to use the chat. The only thing I ask you with the chat is to please refrain from going into side conversations in the chat that aren't relevant to what we're talking about, because I am watching that chat out of the corner of my eye. And so I do try to keep up with what you're talking about while I'm talking about what I'm talking about. So if conversations go off the rail, I'm going to go off the rail with you. And next thing you know, we'll be talking about your sister and your grandma and what's for dinner next week. And we don't need to go down that road. Okay. So let's talk about Award of the Year 2021. And just to show of hands, can you guys show me how many of y'all have done this before? Have y'all done Award of the Year before? Is anybody, this your first time ever doing this before? Jackie, first time. Keith, maybe first time. Okay, so some of you guys maybe doing it your first time. So I just kind of want to set this up a little bit because I've also heard of some people that have done the word of the year before, but they didn't find that the word of the year was really effective to them. Have you any of y'all experienced that before where you kind of chose the word and it's like, I kind of picked my word, but I don't really know if it did anything for me. There's a reason for that. And the way I've kind of set up what we're going to cover today, hopefully is going to help you get past that. Because once you narrow down to whatever your word of the year is, it should really mean something to you. And it should really be something that stirs something up in you when you do that. And so I found with a lot of people that have maybe chosen a word for the year in the past that it didn't really do much for them. It's probably because it was the wrong word or because you didn't get the emotion tied to it. So hopefully our process this morning is going to accomplish that for you. That's my mission. So just to set this up a little bit, as the reason why I do this time of year, I always do it in November. I always do it right in before we go into the holiday season, as people are really starting to think about what that new year is going to look like. This is the season where people start thinking about January. This is the thing where we're nearing the end of the year and you start looking back at all the things that 2020 was, right? And all the things that you did and didn't do. And you start kind of refreshing yourself of the goals that you had for January and the things that you wanted to accomplish. And you start looking at, man, what was this year for me? And what did I do? And what did I not do? And you start to reflect a bit. And that's what leads you into really thinking about where you want to be in the upcoming year. And this is where New Year's resolutions are born. I hate New Year's resolutions. Those guys that know me well. I hate the connotation behind them. Not that New Year's resolutions aren't necessarily a good idea, but I hate the connotation that comes along with it because a lot of people are like, my New Year's resolution this next year is to stick to my New Year's resolution. And statistically, most people that set New Year's resolutions in January, they're completely off the map by March. 80% of people actually have dropped their New Year's resolutions within 90 days after starting them. So, with this process of kind of everybody kind of goes into the end of the year thinking about what their year was and what it wasn't and how I want the next year to be different and better, leads you into coming into January. So, well, this year I'm going to be healthier, and this year I'm going to be more focused. This year I'm going to be more intentional, and this year I'm going to do that thing that I've been wanting to do. And this year is going to be the year where I stop procrastinating. And people just kind of put some generalizations in this kind of bundle in all the life challenges that they've had and just kind of make some happenstance goals, they call them, that I'm going to do some things differently this year. And what happens? What usually happens is January comes and goes in a blink, and all of a sudden you're into February, like, whoa, January went fast, and you're into, well, I'm okay because we're only 1 month in. And then usually February is when the challenges start to show up. That's where difficulty happens. That's when you start realizing that you're not as far along as you thought you would be. Unforeseen circumstances usually arise. Different things come up in February, and then all of a sudden you're in March. I got a whole bunch of head nods because I'm reading all y'all's mail, right? This is how it goes. Then you show up in March, and you're like, man, it's March already. And this was going to be the year I stopped procrastinating. This was going to be the year I lost the weight. This was going to be the year that I blank, fill in the blank. And by the time you get into mid-March, you realize that you're nowhere near where you thought you're going to be. Like, well, I guess I might as well just try to see what I can go from here. And the New Year's resolutions fall and crash and burn into a blazing flame of, yeah. So that's why I hate New Year's resolutions, because it's not only, we can all laugh about it, like, oh yeah, I've done that, but it's statistical. So choosing one word for the year is a completely different approach. Choosing one word for the year, this is not a New Year's resolution, and we're not choosing this to act as a New Year's resolution. So I want you to get that in your mind right away. So, if you're like, well, this is the year that I really want to be more focused and intentional, then you don't choose the word intentional because of that reason. Or this is the year that I'm going to lose the weight and get healthy, then I'm going to choose the word health or wellness for my year. No, because you're basically just sticking a word to your New Year's resolution. We're going to go deeper than that today, and we're going to make sure that we're going to tackle not just the one single aspect of your life that's maybe been a challenge, but we're going to talk about your family, your goals, your dreams, your desires, all the different aspects of your life that are super, super important. And we're going to bring all that together to find the one word that makes the biggest impact over all of that. And that's how you choose a one word for the year. So the one word for the year is not just naming a resolution. Choosing one word for the year is about establishing an attitude that you are going to carry into the next 12 months. It's about establishing, it's an attitude. I mean, I don't think I can give it any other word than next. I think that's the best. This is about, I'm going to take upon an attitude of blank. I'm going to take upon a posture of blank. It's something that it consumes you, and this is who I am going to be. This is not something I'm going to do. This is who I'm going to be in the new year. And one thing I love about it, one thing that I think makes the one word process effective. And good morning to you, Paul. Thanks for coming in, buddy. One of the things I think makes it so effective is because it's simple. It's very narrow focused. It's very easy to remember. This is my word. And then that word should guide you and direct you and influence you and consume you for the next 12 months. And anytime you're doing anything that does not align with that word, you should feel it in your spirit. You should feel it in your gut, and it should bother you. All right. So all that to say, let's go into diving into one word. So hopefully you guys have taken some time to think of, has anybody have, I'm just curious, does anybody have a word on the mind that you think might be your word for the year? Anybody? Not yet. Some of you maybe a little bit do. Okay, that's good. So in the guide that I gave you this list of a whole bunch of different words. There's 108 different words here. Every word that I've ever used is in here. And I went through, I scoured the internet, got a variety of different lists and words and stuff. And some people's words are just stupid. I mean, can we just be honest? I mean, some words are just like, why would you choose that as your word for the year? So I believe I've narrowed out all the stupid. And so I think this is probably the best list on the internet. I mean, I'll put that assignment to it. I think this is the best word of the year list that you'll find anywhere, because I cut out all the I don't like that, to give you just a good solid list. Now, it doesn't mean that your word has to be on this list. If you got a word that's more awesomer than the list that I have, then I would like to know that word, because I want to add it to my list for future reference. But I feel like this is a great list. And this is just to get your wheels turning. This is really just to get your wheels turning for those guys that may be struggling with creativity a little bit. This is the list to just kind of help you with ideas. So this is what we're going to do. Throw a hand up if you have this guide in front of you, just so I know if anybody does not have the guide in front of you. So let's say most of you do. Okay, cool. All right, so what I'm going to do, you guys see a series of questions. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me, 6, 7, 8. Eight kind of things that we're going to ponder this morning. This is what's going to happen is we're going to talk about each one of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a timer. And so our first one we're going to talk about is your career. So the question I'm going to ask you, or I guess it's not really a question, but just kind of a statement you're going to make to yourself using these notes, is you're going to say, in my career, I most desire. And then I want you to start writing singular words. And it doesn't have to come from this list. It just, anything that comes to your mind, I just want you to start writing down singular words. I'm going to give you 2 minutes for every single one of these that we do. And I am just going to talk quietly a little bit as we do it. And you guys can go ahead and go. And I'm starting my timer right now. So you have 2 minutes. So I just want you to think about your career. I want you to think about the path that you're on, the goals that you have, and say, in my career, I most desire what? I most desire growth, impact, influence, visibility, connection. Might be things like even joy. It may be how you want to feel in your career. What do you want to accomplish in your career? What do you feel is missing in your career? Maybe you want to advance. Maybe you want to scale. Maybe you want to level up. If anybody has a word that you feel really stands out to you, I want to ask a few of you, but just try to not let your pen stop writing, and just go through and just write down anything that you can think of that you want your career to represent. It may be things like unity. It may be things like aspire. It can also be character qualities. In my career, I want to be more disciplined. Consistency. You got 30 seconds. Momentum is a good one too. Love momentum. Momentum is on my list of words, my favorites. I love the word momentum. 15 seconds. Keep writing as many as you can. Leverage. Love that word, Joanne. Spectacular word. Clarity and advancement. Excellent words as well. Maggie, love those. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 minutes. All right. So, does anybody, first of all, let me ask this. Was that hard to do that? It's not too bad. It's good. A little bit, just getting it going. And I think if you found that to be kind of challenging, it'll get easier. I think most of the people are like, oh no, it's because we've done a lot of stuff like this before. So you kind of know how to get your mind in that space where you just start doing that. You'll find that this will start to come easier. And what'll end up happening is as you go through each of these segments, some similarities in some of your words will start to come up, and so things will start coming a little bit clearer. But anybody want to share what they wrote down? I would love to hear if somebody wants to share what you wrote down. Anybody want to throw a hand up? Tammy, go ahead.
Mine is connection, authenticity, growth, leadership, mentor, higher vibration. I know that's 2 words.
Okay.
Advance, team, productive, consistency, commitment, momentum, nourish, and nurture.
Like it. Great list. Daniel, you want to share yours, buddy? Let me unmute you. Hang on. I'll make it easier on you. Or I can ask to unmute. You have to unmute yourself, looks like.
Yeah, so mine is interaction, fellowship, companionship, captivation, character, momentum, leverage, and strategy.
Like it. I want to bring awesome list. The other thing I want to bring up real quick too is there's no rules to this. So
Right.
you don't have to follow my rules to this. So like Tammy put something that's 2 words to her. If you got something that's a 2-word phrase or even a 3-word phrase, that's cool. It doesn't have to be just one singular word. It's what we're digging out of this is what means the most to you. So there's no rules as to you have to follow these specific rules. Just this process is meant to help you just uncover what it is that you really want. Maggie says increase was my word from your post is very accurate. I love that, Maggie. I love it. I'm gonna take one more. Anybody else want to share what they wrote down? Maddie, go ahead. You're gonna have to unmute your buddy. I can ask, but I think you still have to do it.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Can
Yep.
you hear me?
Yep.
Influence, creativity, uniqueness, organization, growth, visibility, connection, level up, sanity, unity, compassion, discipline, light, love, momentum, commitment, follow through.
Wow. That's follow through is a great one too. Great list. That's a fantastic list.
The first 4
people-
were easy.
The first 4 were easy. That tends to be me too. Because usually what tends to me is you're like, Justin, write down what you want with your, oh, I got you. I'm like, bam, bam, bam. And I get like 3 or 4 right off the bat. And then you're like, well, you got another minute and a half. I'm like, oh. And then I got to think a little deeper, but that's good. That's a spectacular list. So I'm going to do this every time. Because I think I like hearing other people's words, and hopefully hearing some of what everybody else is writing down can kind of stir up some of your guys' ideas too. And it doesn't mean that just because I said timer stopped at 2 minutes means you're done with that section. If a word comes to your mind later, or even as someone says a word, you're like, oh, I love that. Write that one down too. So just use that segment just to get anything down there that's meaningful to you that you want to use for that area. All right. Let's go to the next one. This next one, I'm going to be quiet because I want to write as well. So I'm not going to talk at all. So the next one is with my family, I will be. Now, the reason why I word it that way is because I want to word it in kind of that 1-word frame. So with my family, I will be intentional, or I will be focused, or I will be spirit led, or whatever. But even if there's things like, with my family, I desire unity, or with my family, I desire growth. Don't be afraid to change the I will be to I desire or whatever. This is just basically, what do you want with your family, and how would you ever word that? You got 2 minutes. Go. 1 minute. Fifteen seconds. Okay. How was that one? Easier, harder? A little harder? Anybody different want to share what you wrote for family? Hand up. Anybody? I'll call on you. Paul, go, buddy. Tell me what you.
I got open, compassionate, closer, focused, healthy, intentional, patient, present, paced, and reasonable.
I like paste.
Yeah.
Great list. I'll share mine. I had unified, impactful, influential, patient as well, spirit led, abundant, wholehearted, pure, limitless, and honest. Anybody else want to share your family? I see Moto and I recognize your face. But I want to know your name, Moto. you have to unmute you so I can hear you. I hate calling people by their handles. You know I do. So who's talking? Dia?
Me, Dia.
Go ahead, Dia.
A lot of the same words. All of mine are grown up and out and adults, so I'm dealing with all these adults. Authentic, focused, intentional, open, supportive, realistic, patient, understanding, fun, loving, honest, and wise.
Oh, that's a good list. That's a great list. I see Maggie Graham too. Maggie Graham in the chat says present. Present is a great word. I love that word. Authentic, genuine, available is an awesome word as well. That's a great word of the year, available. Positive, loving, nurturing, compassionate, fun, grounded in the word, uplifting, spiritual, forgiving, and satisfied. Yep. I love it. One more. Go for it. Yeah, you have to unmute yourself.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
I put spirit-led, more attentive, loving, lend an ear, more of a prayer mom, which I pray all the time, but more. Caring, directional, leader, warrior mom, protector,
warrior.
unified, patient, available, and nurturing.
Yeah, great list. And your name, tell everybody your name, please, will you?
Faith, Sharamy.
Thank you, Faith.
Thank you,
A
sir.
warrior's bomb. Love that word.
Yes.
Like, come on. Yes.
Amen.
That's a great word of the year as well. You can apply that to a lot of things.
Yes,
I
sir.
love it. I love it. Thank you, Faith. Love that. Okay. Let's go to our next round. All right. With my friends. Same thing again. I kind of frame it as with my friends, I most desire blank, but it can be with my friends, I will be, or with my friends, I choose to. You can frame that however you want. Same thing. 2 minutes. I'm going to be quiet because I'm going to think about this for myself as well. And I'm actually doing this with you. So I've got some ideas for my word of the year already, but I wanted to do this live with you today so we can kind of all do it together. So 2 minutes with my friends, I most desire. Go. You got 2 minutes. 1 minute. Fifteen seconds. Okay. How was the Friends piece? Easy, harder? About the same? Same in that same realm? Anybody want to share what you wrote down for Friends? Throw a hand up so I can see if anybody. Tasha, you want to share? I'm calling you, but you know, well, I'm like the teacher that calls on the people in the class that won't talk. Go, Tasha. Tell us about you.
You're funny. I put authentic, present, understanding, patient, kind, familiar, considerate, honest, quiet, giving, watchful, protective.
Yeah, I like that. Great list. Spectacular list. Joanne, will you share your friends list for me?
Absolutely, Justin. So with my friends, I will and most desire depth,
Yeah.
connection, integration, mutuality, that is give and
Yes.
take, nurturing, indescribably candid conversations, laughter, consistency, and then I wrote in bold, I desire 3 new really solid friends in
I love that.
2021.
That's good. I love that. Choosing that straight up. I took a couple of yours. I love depth. I love maturity. I think you said. I think
You actually have given me one. It was mutuality, like being give and take, mutual.
Yes. Yeah.
But you've
Mutual.
given me mature, MUTUA.
Yeah. Mutual. Yeah.
But you also said, I think you said maturity, which
Maturity.
correct.
Yes.
I
yes.
have now added.
Okay. Okay.
And then
I love that.
the last one was loyalty.
Loyalty is a great one too. Aurora says supportive, direct, lead, breakthrough, level up, intention, aligned. Aligned is nice. I like aligned a lot. That's a great word of the year as well. Embrace growth, depth, connect, faith, heal, warrior, team. Tammy, go ahead.
How many of you have written down something and felt a pain in your heart when you knew that connected?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd even call it a pain, but I'd call it a whoa. That's a word. And a couple of you have shared some words like, I love that word. I've written a couple of them. I wrote down real too. I don't know about you. I just want real with the people. And y'all outgrown some people lately in the past couple years. Like you just outgrowing some people, man. And that's one of the things where Courtney and I are very much in a season over the past few years. We've really outgrown a lot of our friends, and that's tough. And so I wrote down growth, life-minded, new, impact, authenticity, depth, maturity, and real. I think that's good. Anybody else? One more? Anybody else want to share with you? Go ahead, Daniel, or Heather. Go ahead, Heather. I haven't heard from you yet.
So I have community, connection, influential, impact, adventure, fun, supportive, belonging,
Yeah.
authentic,
Wow.
laughter, depth, and real.
Great list. All right. Let's keep going, shall we? Is this fun? You guys enjoy this? I just really love this process. I just think it's so fun. It's like purging or something. It's almost like it forces you to be super honest with yourself, right? It just forces you to like, really, what do I really want? What do I really want? And where do I want to put my focus? All right. Next.
Justin, Daniel put some really good ones if you want to check them out.
Thank you.
Yes, he did.
Catalyst. Yeah. Reliable, empowering, focused, unified, present, open, passionate, understand, joy, protective is a great one too, in depth Great list. Love that, buddy. All right. So this next piece with my spouse, I think most of y'all have got spouses, but some of you guys may not have spouses. So you can tie this to relationships as well. So again, this is for you. So if it's a spouse, like for me, when I do this, this is me and Courtney. What do I want with me and Courtney? If you're single, then you can tie it to in my relationship status. What do you want? If you're even not even looking for a relationship, it might be in your maybe your family relationship. So this segment can be for really whatever you want this to be. It could be tied to your kids, but really kind of the way I list is I list it as my spouse, but you can list this to any, basically your most meaningful relationships that are basically outside of your friends, close personal relationships. What do you want with your, and the other thing too, I'll say with this is some of you guys you might have your wife, your kids, your parents, your brother, your sister, you might do words for each of those on your own time if you'd like to, but just, you can name this whatever you want. Use this segment for that. And we're going to go 2 minutes and I'm going to be quiet again and go. You got 2 minutes. One minute. Ten seconds. Okay. Who wants to share your list of your relationships, your loved ones? Anybody? Keith, go ahead, Paul. Keith, you're next, buddy.
I have a whole list of like restatements.
I love that.
Because we're moving to Colorado, so it's a whole different
you just
season.
went through a big move.
Yeah, so it's rebuilding, new adventure, reestablishing, redefining, repurpose, reknowing, reset, refine, redirect, and renew.
Wow, that's a good list. That's a powerful list, man.
Well, this season is like everything that you were talking about. There's a lot of friends that have dissipated. There's a lot of mindset. So it's like re-knowing each other, re-adventure, just everything's re. So
yeah, powerful list, man. Thank you for sharing. Keith, can I get yours, buddy? You have to unmute yourself. We know how you like to wrestle with microphones. Can I hear you?
Yes, you can hear me.
Hey, I love it. Good morning, buddy.
Everyone. Renewal, and I don't mean because there's a problem, I just mean renewal of like the way we were type thing. Songs from yesteryear. Just appreciative, more realization, meaning that where would your life be without your spouse? Just kind of thing. More focused, getting through 2020 together.
Together is a good word.
Yeah, togetherness, more togetherness, dedication,
Mhm.
repurpose, as Paul said, and dependable.
I love that.
And they're up for each other.
I love that. Thank you, buddy. Maggie, I see your list. Maggie says understanding, encouragement, support, unity, depth, communication, authenticity, growth, focus, vision, movement, advance. I like advance. Like advances by itself. Advancement, openness, courage, boldness, fun, enjoyment, maturity, loyalty. I'll share my list as well. My list was connection, limitless, unified, complete, travel, honest, sincere, impact, dream, aspire, attain, adventure, thrive, and abundance. Anybody seeing commonalities in your words yet? Where certain words are coming up? That you should, by this point in time, you're going to start seeing some of the same words, or you might start seeing some similar words. So just be aware of that's something that you're starting to see. You're wanting to see that across the board. Faith said, I wrote my answers regarding my future spouse. I love that. Holy Ghost led, genuine, true love God more than me, understanding, unity, one accord, togetherness, challenging me for the better, family, pioneer. Great list. Daniel, inseparable, traveling, demonstration, expansion. Expansion's a nice word. Expand. Impact, growth, launching projects, memory making journeys. That's a good idea, Keith. So maybe we could compile all of our words together for a new list. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah, maybe I'll have you guys, maybe that'll be like a homework assignment. If those guys don't want to participate, some of your favorite words from this process, email them to me and I'll compile a new list of things. That would be really cool. I'd love to do that. Okay, let's keep going. We got 4 left. We're halfway through. So next one is in my health and well-being. In my health and well-being, I most desire what? And same again, you can adjust the phrasing if you want to. In my health and well-being, I will be, or I desire to be, or whatever. You got 2 minutes. Go on health and well-being. A lot of personal development words tend to come up on this one. Committed, disciplined, focused, follow through. 1 minute. Five seconds. All right. Those guys that want to share, go ahead and drop them in the chat stream. Maggie Kavanaugh, I'd love to hear your perspective on this one. Can you speak, my friend?
I can.
I hear you.
Kind of felt, I actually just transitioned over to my computer. I had a feeling you were going to call on me on this one. Healed. Okay. I didn't see it on the list, but healed and rejuvenated, resilient, vibrant, intentional, revived, strength, thrive, appreciative, and to become, and breath. Breath and breathe both.
I love that.
So,
I really like the word become.
I like that.
Become could go to a lot. Become could go on career. I mean, become can go on a lot. That's a great word. I never thought about that word for word of the year before, but that could be really come. That could be that's a spectacular word.
Yeah, and optimal.
Optimal is a good one as well. Anybody else on a shirt? Jackie, go ahead. You have to unmute yourself, buddy. There you go.
Discipline, accountability, follow through, good results, commitment, obedience, faithful.
Wow. Anybody else just get slugged with obedience? I did. Great word. Great list, Jackie.
And faithfulness.
Faithfulness is a good one too. Wow.
Faithfulness in going to your doctor and getting your checks and so forth.
Very
Eating
good.
properly.
Thank you, Jackie. Maggie Graham, faithful, improved, approved, empowered, obedient, focused, clarity, strong, consistent, driven, accomplished, surrendered. Great words. Anybody else want to share on this one? Anybody got a word that anybody that's got a word that's come up or like, I love this word and I'm feeling like this is like a word that possibly might be my word for the year. Anybody there yet? Heather?
Audacious.
Audacious. What's audacious mean to you? Do you mind sharing?
Bold. Another meaning for bold, like just going for it, even though it's
going for it.
There's a little bit of fear, but you just like doing it anyway.
Uninhibited. I'm going. Yep. Fearless. Yeah. It's like, I view that as kind of a combination with fearless. I'm going for it. I love that. Overcomer is a great word too, Maggie. Available, I believe, is my word, Maggie. I love that word for you. That's a spectacular word. Tenacious is a spectacular word. Yep. Anybody else? Kim Wendy, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I've been on this journey since July, the health and wellness stuff. So strength, balance, disciplined, committed, motivated, inspirational, because I've had 2 people tell me I've inspired them so far.
Awesome.
Improvement, impactful, healed, vibrant, and intentional.
Great words. Balance is a fabulous word. You rang some earbells on that one. Balance is a spectacular word. Immovable. Daniel, what's immovable mean to you, buddy? Can you share from that?
So, it kind of compiles with, consistency, being flexible, being reliable, being open, being there. You're immovable in where you're going. And I found myself kind of being, I'm here, I'm there, I'm present, but there's moments where I'm movable. I'm shifting to other people's ideas for me or this or that, where I'm just planted and people come to me and I'm resolving those issues. So I'm going to be immovable.
Boom. I love that. Unshakable. I see Maggie says unshakable is right along with that. I love that.
Come on.
Thank you, Daniel, for sharing that, buddy. I appreciate that. Love it. Okay, let's keep going. This is fun. I'm so glad we did this on a Zoom. This is such a good idea. Okay. This next one is one that some people have a hard time with. I want you just to and I actually worded it incorrectly on my list. But what I meant to say was I want people to know me as being, or I want to be seen as. This is who I want to be. This is the person that I want. When people think of me or experience me or talk about me, this is who I want them to think of me being. That's what that meant to be. So 2 minutes. Go ahead and write on that one. And you can kind of look at me to say this as well, guys. You can kind of look at this as one of 2 ways. You can look at this as how you want people to see you as a person, but then also what impact you have on them. So you can kind of look at it both ways. How do you want them to see you as who you are? And then what influence do you want to have on them? 30 seconds. Okay. How was that one? Did you enjoy that one? No, not so much. I love that one. It's funny how people take those things differently. Dia says authentic, joyful, humorous. That's a great word. Encouraging, wise, real, insightful, patient, effective, and consistent. Anybody want to share what you wrote on that one? Joanne, what'd you write for that one? Tell me about you, buddy.
I suspected you'd call me. So the first one was like a really long statement, but I'll say it. Upholding a very high standard of excellence.
I would summarize that as excellence because you are
very
much a person
an exceptional standard of thank you.
Yeah.
Authentic, effervescent, integrous, peaceful. And then when you asked what influence I want to have, so that was how I want them to see me. Now, what influence do I want to have on them? I wrote magnetic, safe, results-oriented, and insightful.
Very good words. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, and a source of wisdom. So wise.
I love that. Yep, I love that. Cheryl, can you speak? I would love to know your list on this one. Can you hear me? Can you speak up this morning?
Yeah, thank you. No, I didn't think I would.
Let me hear you.
Okay.
Good morning. Let's see what you had.
Okay. So I had I did two. I did Be Seen As, and then I did Impact, Influence. And so a few on my Be Seen As was fun, easy, creative, trusting, energized, courageous, abundant. And then the Impact or Influence was love, abundance, limitless, fearless, also magnify, a place of safety, and an outside the box thinker.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Cheryl. Great list. Aurora said constant, inspiring, impact, aligned, ever evolving, safe, change, positive, faithful, real, insightful, breaker. I like breaker of glass ceilings. That's awesome, Aurora. Faith says love Jesus, change life, testimonial, strong, wise, mantle, apostolic mantle, builder, impactful. Aurora, passionate, magical. Anybody else got a word on that one where it just really stands out to you? I'll read my list real quick. So my list was I kind of combined who I am and who I want to be to you guys as well. I wrote impactful, inspiring, motivating, influential, driven, committed, disciplined, limitless, unstoppable, tenacious, and bold. Worthy is another good word on that one. Anybody else want to share what you wrote down for this one? Hand up, anybody? Heather?
So of course, my first one is audacious.
Yep.
Confident, compassionate, accomplished, disciplined, intentional, driven, radiant and vibrant, fun, real, honest, inspirational, motivational, insightful, and impactful.
I like radiant a lot. That's a great word. Yep, great word. Keith said truthful, trustworthy, honest, dependable, wise, inspirational, legacy, mentor, and godly. Legacy is a good word for you for the year, buddy. I mean, you can wrap a lot into legacy because a lot of what you were kind of talking about with and thinking about with Glenda boils down to legacy, I think. Good words. Okay. All right. Last two. The next one is in my hobbies and interests, I desire to be. So these are things that you're passionate about. These are your activities. These are the things that you maybe the things that you currently love doing, or it could be things that you have loved doing in the past. So for example, maybe you're a musician and you love the instrument that you play, but because of the way that your life goes, you rarely ever play. So in your hobby, you might want to be more intentional about playing your instrument. You might put opportunity to be a part of someone who will allow you to play your instrument. So just something like that. So just think about Think about with your hobbies, with your interests, just the things that you love doing. What do you desire in the new year? You got 2 minutes. Go. One minute. Okay. What'd you get for that one? Anybody want to share hobbies and interest? Paul or Maddie? Go ahead.
Maggie Kavanaugh.
No, I'm sorry, Maddie. Maddie, cheers.
Oh,
Thank you,
Maddie.
Maggie.
Okay.
Have some.
Have some. Okay.
Yes.
Have some hobbies and interests.
Well, because I always think like my life is my hobby, but lately I've been thinking that's probably not true.
Yeah.
Commitment, follow through, completion, focus, practiced, joyful, clay. Because I want to work in clay.
I love that. I love that. I wanted to read some of the list. So Paul said intentional, open, expand, and focused. You're in a shift season, so that's tricky, right? With all the stuff that you got going on. Maggie Graham, creative, expressive, intentional, available. Available is a good word. I really like that word for you. Consistent, relaxed, enjoyment, ease, fun, flow, systematic, refreshed, rejuvenated, and refocused. Mm-hmm. Anybody else want to share what you had on that one? Daniel, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. So flexible, open, organized, creative, visionary, productive, separated, meaningful, purposeful, inspiring, and mastering the craft.
Master the craft. That would be a bomb word phrase of the year. Master the craft. That's hot. Master the craft. Wow. Great word, buddy. That's nice. Okay. That's good. Anybody else want to share? Y'all are good? Okay. Last one. This one's just kind of this is kind of a commitment to yourself. This is a challenge to choose what you want to be. Every one of us have comfort zones. Every one of us have goals, things that we want to do, things that we want to accomplish, things that we want to achieve. So this last one is in the new year, I choose to step beyond my comfort zone so that I will what? What do you want to do? And this last thing should really be a summary of just the experience that you want to have in the new year. So 2 minutes, go. I don't know what that noise is. Is it me? Is it me making that noise? I don't know what that noise is. All right, we're at 1 minute. It stopped. I don't know what that is. 10 seconds, crew. Okay. How was that one? Was it hard? Was it easy? About the same? Hard? It was hard. It was easy. Paul, tell me what you're thinking, buddy.
Yeah, it was that was one of the biggest challenges.
Was it?
Yeah,
Hard.
because
So a lot of you said hard.
yeah, because of stepping out of the comfort zone that I will. So I choose to step beyond the comfort zone to provide, to be visible in new arenas, not settle for undervalue, to be clear to me, for me, to recognize where God has positioned me and find more value in less and obtain my goals.
Wow. Good list.
That was rough.
Yeah, that was a rough one. Man, Amanda just dropped a bomb. She said accelerate. I love that word. Like accelerate is a spectacular word. Wow. Love accelerate. I want to see these see what else we got in here. Motivated, release, rhythm, rise. I wrote rise too. I wrote arise. Arise is a good word. Successful, purposeful, see miracles, achieve, victorious, prosper, intentional, conquer is a good word too. Great words, y'all. You always got some good ones in here. Master, again, Amanda, love that one. Attract. Conquer, conqueror is a great word. Yeah. Paul, no problem, buddy. Thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate you, man. All right. Anybody want to share verbally what you did or what you thought on that last one? Tasha, come out your face. I gotta hear what you said. Tell me about.
I'm wanting to be more impactful with what I do. So mine is to influence, increase, impact, inspire, grow, value, opportunity, acknowledgement, arrival, and then level up.
Those are great words. I love those words. Yeah. What makes you giggle about that? Are you just, what do you feel?
Well, because I know me and it all sounds nice. And then I'll be that March person that.
Oh, no, you won't. Delete and cancel that. No, you won't. We're going to do.
I'll be that March person that will turn off, the phone because I'm like, stop calling. I didn't do it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. So I got to get multiple ways to communicate with Tasha. So when she stops answering over here, I can get her over there. Thank you for sharing, Tasha. I appreciate that. Daniel says uncompromising, bomb word, mastered, established, legacy, transformed, closure is a good word too, buddy, for you. Absolutely. Exposure, momentum. I'm digging on momentum. Anybody else want to share their words? Great words. Heather, go ahead.
Yeah, I put, so I'll be adventurous, explore more, be unstoppable, unlimited, courageous and capable, revived, so that it'll thrive. And then I put multiple and accelerate from other people's.
Wow. Good stuff. Good words. Thank you guys. And thank you so much for sharing. So, all right. So what I want you to do now is just take a couple minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes again. And you got all these words down now, right? So I want you just to look through, and if you got a highlighter, you can grab a highlighter. And this is what I usually do is I'll go back to the beginning and I'll just kind of start back to where I first started within my career. And I'll look over all the words and I'll just highlight the couple that really stand out to me, like some of my favorites that really stand out to me. Go through and just kind of, you can highlight them, or if you don't have a highlighter, you can just kind of circle them. But we want to go through, and I want you to narrow down to 4 words if possible. Or if some of you guys have phrases, narrow down to 4 phrases. So on the second sheet, we're going to narrow down to 4 words that stand out the most to you. And it could be a word that you only said once. It doesn't have to show up in multiple locations. In some cases it will. Like for me, I've got a couple words that show up in multiple areas. So I got an idea of what my words are. But I want you to come down with 4. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Just try to look over everything you listed, highlight the ones that stand out, and jot down 4 words that really stand out to you. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes. So go. Ten seconds. How was that? Was that hard? Or was that hard? No, it wasn't hard. It was easy. Maddie, what were you for?
Me. I had inspire, follow through, focused, committed.
What's your word? What's the one? Do you know?
I think it's focused.
Really? Focus is good. Yeah. You feel like that's it? When you think of focus, does that mean something to you?
Yeah, it kind of combines the follow through. The follow through is pretty hefty for me.
You need what? All right. So this is for everybody. When you look at those 4 words, you need to pick the one that means the most to you. It needs to be the one that like you feel it, like you know what that means to you. I have a feeling just by the way you're telling me that follow through is the one that means something to you. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Amanda has accelerate, momentum, expand, and audacious. What's your word, Amanda? Can you speak? I know you're traveling right now.
Yeah, I can talk. I think it's accelerate. That's the one. It's been kicking around for probably 2 or 3 weeks now anyway. And then you did this thing like, oh, I'll probably just confirm it. But
yeah, I like that. I like that word a lot. Intentional is meant. That's great. I like that. I like that word a lot. Does that mean something to you? For me, it does. Amanda, for you, I love that word. I think it's time to hit the gas pedal.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know if you saw my comment earlier. I was cracking up because my word for 2020 is my program.
That's funny. I did
That
not
was-
see that.
Yeah, that was my word. Arise was my word for 2020. And that has been my word like so much.
Wow.
And yeah,
That's awesome.
and then my program. And now, yeah, I do think accelerates definitely. I think
Yep.
it's time.
That. I love
Get
that.
going.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, buddy. Tasha says release, guard, visible, and decided. Those are good words. I don't see you on the screen right now, Tasha, but I don't know if you can still hear me, but do you want to share which one of those is really standing out to you? Do you have one that's standing out to you? Tasha might be tied up at the moment. Anybody else want to share? Danny, what's yours, man? Tell me what you got, buddy.
So mine was a little emotional because everything came to a head.
Yep. It should be.
Immovable, catalyst, mastered, and legacy. One of my my programs that I'm coming out with is Kingdom Legacy Mentoring. And so it's one of the things where it all kind of stimulates together. I think truly what I'm looking for is legacy. And in that, I will be unmovable. I will launch people and myself, and it will be of mastering. So I think legacy is going to be it for me. Yeah.
I think legacy is powerful, man.
Yeah.
Legacy is powerful because with that one, I know what that means to you as a person.
Yeah.
But legacy, when you stick the word legacy as your word for the year, that's basically reminding you that every single thing that you are doing and not doing is forming your legacy right now.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. That's why it's emotional. Emotion is good, man. Emotion means it means something to you. Who else wants to share? Tammy, tell me about you, buddy. Your word of the year is blue. No.
This blue is all over in my life. But yeah, this is where I need my coach. My 4 words are authentic, intentional, empowered, and catalyst. But I don't know I don't know how to narrow that down. I know authentic has been coming up in my conversation for the last several weeks. Intentional seems to be powerful to me this morning. Empowered is what I want to be and is what I want to give. And then I love Daniel's word catalyst, and that seems to be impactful for me too, but I can't have 4 words. I just saw Maggie Kavanaugh said her word was intentional. We are often on the same track.
Tell me what authentic means to you again.
For me, it means being myself and not who I think others want me to be. Because as an online marketer, I'm often molding myself to who I think they want me to be. Where I attract more people when I'm simply authentic. I mean, hello, bold blue hair.
So looking at these, when you explain it, I really like authentic for you. It's being authentically you. So I really like that. But authentic can go beyond. I mean, we're not talking about just your career here either. This is for your word encompasses everything. So, I think going back to Daniel, legacy is a matter of what he's doing with his business, with his ministry. Legacy also applies to your wife, it applies to your kids, applies to your relationships, applies to all those things. So it's super deep and super meaningful. So authentic, for you, back to you, Tammy, authentic can apply to a lot of things. Intentional applies also to a lot of things, which is probably why it's meaningful to you. Tell me about what is, I know you love the word catalyst. I love the word catalyst for you. I actually see you as a catalyst, but tell me what that means to you.
What I want for myself and my and my career for 2021 is I want to not only propel myself forward, but I want to be a catalyst for others. I want them to want the best for themselves, whatever that looks like. Daniel's saying yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody said catalyst sounds more powerful when you said it.
Yeah. I think probably just because I know Tammy well, I know I'm looking at those 4 words and just thinking about them for each of you. I guess I wonder if kind of like Maddie, where Maddie was like, I've got this one word that like almost kind of stings a little bit. Like I need that word, but then I got this other word that sounds nice too. That could be my word for the year. Do you have like that? Do you have one that's like, well, I really want to be a catalyst?
When I look at those 3 words, authentic, intentional, and catalyst hurts the worst. So maybe that should be where I need to grow into.
I kind of feel like that's the word. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's your pick, but I kind of feel like that's the one. It's a powerful word though. It really is, especially the meaning behind it. Anybody else want to share
It will force me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Kim, Wendy, tell me about your 4. What do you got, buddy?
I have bold, believe, confident, consistency.
What's the 1? Do you got your 1?
No, not real. I mean, I'm going back and forth between all of them.
Do you have one that stings? Or which one of those words stirs up emotion the quickest?
Belief.
Yep. That's the one. I knew it was the one. As soon as you said it, I knew that was the one. That's absolutely your word, buddy. That's why you're crying, because it does something to you when you think of that word. Yep. This is going to be your year where you crack through your belief system.
Yes.
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we do this like this. Yep. Thank you for being transparent, buddy. That's huge. Believe is your word. Absolutely believe is your word. Woo! Who else wants to cry? Anybody else want to share your 4 words? Heather, let's go with you, buddy. Proud of you, Kim.
Well, I'm not gonna cry, but I put audacious, intentional, accomplished, and adventurous. And audacious and adventurous like fire me up. Like that's really good. It doesn't want to make me cry, but I'm like,
no, that's good. Yeah, it doesn't. Emotion doesn't mean you got to cry. Emotion just means it does something to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think I'm leaning more towards audacious, because within that I can be adventurous.
I love that. Yep. Great words. I love it. Tasha, tell me about your words, buddy.
Had to unmute. Well, I had release, guard, visible, and decided for the 4, but listening to everyone, I kept looking back down, and guard just keeps coming up, because that really, I'm very protective of my relationships and everything I do. I'm very protective of my family, my friends, just everything. I'm protective over what comes out of my mouth. I'm protective over what I put out in the world. And so I feel an intense responsibility to be on guard and be protective over what others might not see coming. I'm just very protective. So I don't know if protective or guard is the word, but that's the one I feel strongly connected to out of the 4.
And what were the other ones that you shared? Tell me your other ones again.
Release, because that came up in a couple of different ones, being free to release, let some things go. Then visible, being there, being authentic. Visible came up several times. Not hiding. I'm really good at that. So just
all right, so let me because Tammy said something and I'm thinking the same way. Sounds to me like you are already guarded. It doesn't sound to me like you need to be guarded. Usually your word of the year is something that you want to see happen. So when you read your 4 to me, the first one that stood out to me was release.
That's the one I don't like.
Yeah, I think that's the one. And
yeah,
and
Tasha,
I think, go ahead, Tammy, go ahead.
Tasha, I feel that too. When you said release, I felt it in my spirit. I think guard is the opposite of what you want to do, but I feel like that, yeah, Daniel's agreeing with me.
Everybody's agreeing with you.
2021
Yep.
is release for you. Guard is what you want to do. Release is what God wants you to do.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And it doesn't mean, and this is the thing, Tasha, is that release does not mean that you need to be unguarded. I think for me, release means to be that you need to release control, because guard means control. You're trying to control, and God doesn't call us to be control freaks. And so I think there's some leveling up. There's visible, there's things that are going to happen with you in the next 12 months, but it's going to be directly related on you being willing to release control.
Well, thank you. Okay, I'm done.
But you can pick guarded if you want to. But no, release is your word. Absolutely. And thank you, Tasha, for being transparent, buddy. Love that so much. Anybody else want a counseling session? Joanne, I gotta know what your word is. Girl, tell me.
So my approach is a little different. However, I will share it. So when Justin said we put the 4 words, I think mine were like 6.
Yeah.
Rebel.
Okay.
But
Rebel.
magnetic, rebel, yeah. Magnetic, recommit, trust, and compromising, ever evolving, and follow through. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. My word of the year is none of this.
Okay.
It has already been revealed to me, and I'll tell you what it is. It is about reclamation. My word of the year is reclaim, reclamation.
Reclaim. I love that word.
Reclaim. And it's reclaiming all these things. I'm reclaiming my trust. I'm reclaiming my magnetism.
Wow.
I am reclaiming my follow through. I am reclaiming my trust. I am reclaiming my ever evolve, my ever evolution, evolution, and I'm reclaiming my uncompromising nature.
Wow.
2020 has been my busiest year in business. I have had quantum leaps. Like, I've hardly attended any of your trainings because I've been in
Oh yeah, because you got so much.
I have so much. And I'm like, in the midst of the so much, I've also lost time for self.
Yeah.
And all these other things, and time for, just really pursuing other interests outside of my work.
Yeah.
So in 2021, I want to reclaim. This year has been.
I love that.
Reclaim.
I love that word.
So
I
I
think it's such a
actually
good
have
word.
already done my, there's my.
Yeah, you're already on your vision board and everything.
I'm done. Like,
I love it.
I'm
She's
so
on
ready
it.
for 2021, guys. Like, I'm already like inside 2021. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Joanne, thank you for sharing that. But I love your approach. And I love how Joanne's like, well, I'm going to do this the way I want to do this. But I love that you like, you know what you want to see happen. And then you found one word that could just kind of summarize all those.
Correct.
I think that's spectacular. Love
Thank
that.
you so
Thank you for
much.
sharing, buddy. That's awesome. Anybody else want to share what they came up with? Or if anybody else is stuck.
Sorry, Justin, before you go, I just wanted to share with you that I literally ordered a new journal for this process.
Oh, you
And
did?
Yeah, and I've just opened it now, like when we started the session. And at the top of the journal, it says, blessed is she or he who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. And
Wow.
that's Luke 1:45. So apart from the word, the word reclamation, I have my leading verse for 2021, which is Luke 1:45. So I just wanted to share that.
I love that. Thank you, Joanne. That's awesome. All right. So 2 questions. Question 1 is, does anybody else want to share what they narrowed down on with the group? Jackie, go ahead.
Yes. The 4 words I narrowed it down to are successful, purposeful, faithfulness, and committed.
Which one stands out to you the most? Do you know?
Purposeful.
That's the one that stands out to me too.
Because it includes all of the others too.
Mm-hmm.
To be successful, you have to be purposeful.
Yep.
You have to be faithful to achieve purpose, and you have to be committed as well.
Yep. And success will be a byproduct of being purposeful.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I love that. That's definitely your word. Yep. No question. Good job. That's awesome. I want to see Aurora says, I'm a little stuck. Breaker and non-negotiable stands out to me. Love breaker, excites me, but it scares me a little. Non-negotiable I don't like, so it doesn't mean I need to word. So does this mean I need that word non-negotiable? Not necessarily, Aurora. Aurora, can you speak? I'd love to just talk to you about it. I'd love to know what breaker means to you. Can you talk to us? You'd have to unmute yourself. I don't know if you can or not, where you're at. You can put in the chat stream if you can't. Dia says you're stuck too. Dia, can you share? Yeah. Go ahead, Dia. Let's talk to you. I'll see Aurora, and tell me in the chat stream, Aurora, if you can talk or not. Dia, go ahead and tell me about yours.
Well, I came up with the right words. You know how you do this exercise and you know what the words are you're supposed to use?
Yeah.
But none of them do anything for me. Other people's words like audacious, magnetic, I can get excited about those words. I had one word, it is strategic, but I also like the word ease. I don't want to have any dis-ease, be diseased this year. I want to have ease, but that comes from being strategic, and you can be strategic if you're intentional. And all of that, I want to be authentic. So, but I want to be bold because I have some things that I've been playing around with that I have to just,
bold. Bold is the one to me that's the first word that you've said that stands out to me for you. I think one of the challenges that you might be having is you're an intellect and you think deeply. So each of these words that you're thinking about, you're really thinking real deeply about them, strategic and that type of stuff. But bold, bold to me is more, how do I want to say that? Would you say you're you're naturally bold? I don't think you're naturally bold. Would you say you're naturally bold?
Can I be cautiously adventurous?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's almost like thank you, Aurora. I see that. It's almost like with Tasha, the way I think about with Tasha, like I know how Tasha is. So release is something that's gonna, it's going to force her to be someone she's never been. One of my favorite quotes in the world by Les Brown that says, to do something you've never done, you have to become someone you've never been. You have to sacrifice who you've been in the past to give birth to who you want to be in your future. So I almost feel like bold for you is going to be something that's going to force you to become someone that you know you need to be strategic and to be successful. Does that feel right to you?
That feels better. It's close to audacious.
Yeah, it's close to it, and Heather's thinking the same thing. I think, and girl, listen, if you hear somebody else's word, like if you know that, like, if you know what bold means to you, but you're like, that doesn't really do it for me, then girl, go with audacious. I think audacious is a bomb word. That's probably one of my favorites that's come up today. So if you want to choose audacious, be audacious. It's all about what it means to you. It's all about what it will challenge you to do and what it feels like to you and what it'll encourage you to do.
I've done some business training, and it's called BOLD, Business Objective, Life by Design. So that spells bold. So
yeah,
maybe it's bold, or
bold,
maybe
bold. I like bold for you. I do like bold for you. It's just all about what it means to you. But I think bold. I think something about bold is what your word is.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Aurora, I'm ready for you. Colton, turn the volume off, buddy. Thank you.
Hello?
I can hear you, Aurora. Go ahead.
Great.
Can I hear? There you are.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you said, all right. So you said, so you were going back and forth between breaker and non-negotiable. Tell me what breaker means.
Well, recently I've been seeing this quote go around on social media about breaking glass ceilings and going higher than what society has expected you to go to. And I wrote it down and I was like, yes, I love that word. And then non-negotiable came up, and I have issues with like boundaries and being non-negotiable. So on the one hand, I know I need to start setting boundaries, and I need to be consistent with myself. Kind of like how you always say time management is life management. I need to be consistent with that too. And I feel like that should be a non-negotiable.
Yeah, I don't, for me, I don't think non-negotiable is the word. I like where you're going with the thought process around non-negotiable though. So like with stuff like that, it, you know, words to me that come up are words like boundaries. You know, boundaries might be a powerful word, but I actually really like breaker. I feel like there's something with that, and I feel like that word breaker, I like how it triggered you emotionally when you first heard it, but I also like the fact that breaker can really apply to a lot of things. It can apply not just to your goals and dreams and aspirations, but it can apply to breaking strongholds in your relationships and breaking through bad habits in your life, and it can break through you know, struggles that you've had. It can break through addictions that you've had. It can break through ceilings that you're trying to climb through. Like, so breaker to me, I think breaker is your word. I honestly, I don't think you realize how much breaker can really apply to your life. And so I want you to see that. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
So really, even with you feeling like there's, you know, a lack of boundaries where you've had them and you need to have some non-negotiables in your life, you can even apply breaker to that. This could be the year of breaking bad patterns and bad decisions. This can be the year of breaking bad habits. This can be a year of breaking off ties with people that need to be disconnected from you. So you can really apply breaker to a lot of things. I think that's your word. Does that feel right to you?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
That's the one. I love that. Thank you for sharing, Aurora. I appreciate it. Amanda, go ahead. You were going to share yours, I think. Is that right? Amanda Stout? Are you available?
I think I shared mine already, didn't I?
Oh, did you already? I can't remember. I thought I saw someone said oh no, that was Aurora that said I could share when they're ready. Sorry, but you're good, buddy. I think we're good. Anybody else will either want to share or anybody else feel stuck and want to just talk it out a little bit? Everybody's good? Nigel, go ahead.
When you first announced, I had a word come to mind.
Can you get closer to your phone? I can't hardly hear you, Nigel. You might have to get closer to your phone.
Okay. Does that help?
Yeah, that's better. Yep.
It might be. Okay. So when you first made the announcement for the one word thing, I had a word come to mind.
Okay.
And on it. When we did this, that word didn't come up in the list, but I still kind of think it applies.
Okay.
Out of the list of words was impact, empower, master, and expose.
What was the last one?
Expose.
Expose. Is that what you said? Okay. So impact, empower. What was the third one again? Oh, now I lost your audio completely. Your audio is really hard to hear for some reason, Nigel. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I just switched it to
better. Now I can hear you. There you go.
Yeah, I switched it to the phone from the speaker. So it's impact, expose, empowered, and master were the four that I chose out of this.
Okay.
But the one that came to
what's the word that you had on your mind before today?
continue.
That's not your word. I'm not even gonna write that one down. That's not your word at all. All right, so the four words that you've got, which one's the one that what stands out to you?
Expose hurts.
Try it out, buddy. Just let it out. Yeah. Expose. What, if you can say so, can you tell me what that means to you? Is that exposing you? Is that
yeah.
You're guarded. You're super guarded. Is that a matter of opening yourself up and letting yourself out there and exposing yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because you're making some moves. You're doing some things that are way outside your comfort zone. But everything you've done over the last year to prepare yourself for what you're stepping into has still been somewhat behind the scenes. Now you're getting to the point where you're going to be going out in and doing what you've been training to do. And that's going to be, you're feeling exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to expose myself, like reveal myself. But that's hard for me to do. It's really hard for me to reveal myself.
I actually feel like reveal.
In a group setting.
I like reveal better because I feel like exposed is negative. I feel like exposed is I've been exposed. It feels like that's the only thing I don't like about that word. So reveal is better. I love reveal because I am choosing to reveal myself. I haven't been exposed. I'm choosing to reveal. Reveal is the word. Absolutely. Yeah. Revealing everything that Nigel has to offer to this world. Absolutely. That's your word. Reveal is awesome. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of agreements. Does that feel right to you? That's the one. Doesn't mean it needs to be easy or feel comfortable, but right?
Yeah, it's hard for me to reveal, on social media. One-on-one I don't have an issue with. It's that group setting stuff I have issues with.
To me, it's going to tie, again, similar story to Tasha with release, where revealing yourself doesn't mean that you just have to go and all of a sudden be a buoyant, flagrant extrovert, that you just go out and put yourself out there everywhere. What reveal means is you have to take on a posture of willingness to be willing to reveal yourself where the Lord gives you opportunity to do so and where he directs you to do so. You have to be willing because you're naturally guarded, and being guarded is a choice. Being guarded can be an inner vow where you've gone through stuff in your past, and so I never again will I allow someone to see that aspect of my life, or never again will I put myself out there. That's an inner vow, and that's when you're taking control of your own life. So reveal is about, Lord, I trust you. I trust you with my identity, and I trust you with my gifts and talents and abilities, and I'm going to reveal myself where you show me to do so. That's very much a matter of laying down and sacrificing and releasing control. Yep.
All right.
Yep. Whew. This is good. I'm so glad we did this on Zoom. It's so good. All right. So some of y'all asked my words. So my 4 words are impact, limitless, accelerate, and balanced. My word's impact. Impacts. It's so funny. I've been talking about impact for weeks, months and I've been saying that word to my wife, even talking about our kids, like certain things that some of our kids are going through. I'm like, I just want to impact them. And in my marriage, I want to have an impact on Courtney. I want to have an impact on my family. I want to have an impact on my tribe. I want this Zoom, I've been praying about this Zoom for a week. And I spent, a good hour in prayer this morning before doing this. And I must have said the word impact 20 times. Lord, I just want to impact these people today. I want to have such an impact on them that they take this and carry it into the new year. So impact's my word. I had a feeling that was going to be my word, but it's definitely my word. So super excited about that one. Y'all, I love y'all. We've been out here for an hour and a half, and hopefully this was a good, well spent 90 minutes of your time this morning. So I recorded this. I will upload it and make it available to y'all, anybody that needs it later. But thank you so much for being you and coming here willing to be honest and transparent and real, because it's not my conversation that makes this powerful. It's us that makes this powerful, and you're willing to be transparent and honest with each other. So love y'all so much. Appreciate Maggie, you want to chime in and say something?
I was going to ask just one thing. I have a little bit of an issue between mine. I have two, and I just wanted 1 second. I'm sorry. I know I've been hiding for the last couple of minutes, but so it's between advance and available. I'm pretty sure it's changing to advance because I believe in some ways, of course, I need to become more available, but I don't know. I'm really struggling with that one.
What's advance mean to you?
Going up at the next level, big time. Like I need motion. I feel like I'm advance is taking it to the next place, continuing to the next level. I mean, that's just the whole word I can.
What's available mean to you?
Available is more emotional to me, but not like an impactfully emotional. It's more emotional in a relational way, and spiritually. I have a song called "I'm Available" that is constantly running in my head. I don't know if you know.
I know the song. It's an amazing song. Yeah,
it's amazing, and my kids have been playing it a lot, and the first time it's just ringing in my mind. So I think that it's almost like both of them are my word for this year. That's like almost the foundation. But in order to advance, I have to be available and to.
Yeah. Tammy just said something. Tammy just said, "You're always available. That's who you are. Advance is where you need to go." I agree with that.
That's how I feel. I really do. All right. Okay. I just need to say it out loud.
I see, Daniel, you got to go, but I think several of you guys saying you got to go. So I think advance is your word, Maggie. I think available is who you are. Advance is where you need to go. Absolutely. Love y'all. Love y'all so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for spending the time and being honest. I will see y'all later. Right. Take care and God bless, guys. Bye-bye.